Good morning, Kansas City. Today is April the 19th, 2025. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I have not had the opportunity to post anything in a while, but I think it's time because we're still dealing with the property tax issue and people not holding the right people accountable for the things that they're upset about. The first thing is if you voted, you need to hold the people you voted for accountable. If you have a question, you need to ask the people that your tax dollars are paying for. It is our right, it is what they should want us to do, and it is something we should do. These next few slides will introduce you to those people that you voted for. Maybe some of you voted against them, I don't know. But needless to say, they are in those positions. Our seniors, we are doing the best we can to help our seniors. So if you have not applied for the freeze on your property taxes, do so. If you need help, call down to Jackson County. Let's begin the slides. Jackson County property taxes. Yes, the issue is still going on, and yes, it will continue to go on. But here's where we're at now. They're making sure the assessments does not exceed 15%. Now, our seniors, again, if you're looking at the slide, you can go on Jackson County's website and you can apply online to have your taxes frozen. If you are not able to, or maybe you don't have a computer, feel free to call Jackson County so that you can get some help. Don't feel bad about calling because the reality is your tax dollars paid for those people to be in those positions, so they should want to help you. Seniors, again, apply to have your property taxes frozen. Jackson County is hiring. If you have someone or know someone who is interested in a position for the summer, whether it's part time, full time, etc., this is the time to prepare to apply. As you can see, they're going to have the event where you can join Jackson County for a career fair on Saturday, April 26th. So if you got those grandkids or those kids that are over 21 or under 21 that you think, wow, you need a job, send them down to Jackson County, April 26th, Saturday. You need more information, call Jackson County. Jackson County contact information. They're located at 415 East 12th Street, Kansas City, Missouri 64106. There is a parking garage adjacent to the building. Yes, it does cost. And I'll also share with you, it's kind of congested sometimes when you go downtown. Their phone number is 816-881-3000. Now, will you get the best service as far as when you call? I can't tell you that. Will they send you to a lot of different departments? Probably so. But that's the number they have. And until we, as the community, make a fuss about it, then the service won't get any better. But that is the information 816-881-3000, 415 East 12th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Know your elected officials. Frank White Jr. is our Jackson County executive. Regardless of whether or not you like or dislike, kind of like the president, that is who the people elected. We need to learn to respect who the people elected. If you have an issue, that's okay. Just, be professional when you present it. He is there to do his job. If you have a problem with it, you wait until it's time to vote again, and then you respond by casting that vote. Reality is, we have such a low turnout when it comes to local elections that the issue is not them, it's the community. We just had an election April 8th. The turnout was very low, but the minute people see things happening, then they're upset. Again, blame yourself on that issue. County Executive Frank White Jr., the people voted for him. Let's let him do his job. Jackson County, Deron McGee. He is your legislator chair for 4th District Legislator. If you have questions, he has his number listed on the Jackson County website. Your tax dollars pay for people's salary. So feel free to email or call. Email I found to be better because they are very busy and they are working hard. Deron McGee, Legislator, Chairman, 4th District Legislator. Jackson County, you have Donna Payton and Jalen Anderson. Again, these are the people in these positions. It shows you the one that is 2nd District at large and 1st District at large. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Jackson County, you have Megan Marshall, Vanessa Husky, Manuel Arbaca, and Charlie Franklin. I am saying this because you need to know these people, you need to know their faces. You need to know so when it's time to vote again, you are prepared. You know them, you know what they're doing, and you know what they're saying. If you have questions, again, on the Jackson County website, they always have their information, their phone number, and their email. It is your right to ask questions. If they don't answer when it's time for you to go to the poll and they need you to answer. Jackson County. Now we have some seasoned people here and some new people. Let's welcome Melissa Johnson, Jackson County Prosecutor. Congrats to her. Now, Jeannie Laura, Sean Smith, and Daryl Forte, I believe, have been here for a while, and they have shown and proven that they can be stars. If you have questions, again, it is your right to contact them. They are very busy, so I highly recommend email. And I'm going to continue to remind people you voted for these people, you pay for these people. Why would you not ask these people the questions that you have? Our community, Jackson County. I'm sending this message because it's important. We need to realize that our community will forever continue to change. That's just how life is. Change is inevitable. Neighborhoods will change, county rules will change, all kinds of stuff will change, and it's for the better of our community. The crime is up at an all time high. It's terrible, in fact. Our homeless population continues to grow. Our city continues to throw money into programs to reduce the homeless. But as far as I know, I have not been able to find any statistics to say it's working. So when you think about what your tax dollars pay for, think about what's paid for that you don't see results. Now, I'm going to add this in here as a comparison to what our president is currently doing. We're very upset. People are very upset about the changes that he's made. But you have to look at it both ways. And I am big on looking at things both ways. All we've done is driven our deficit very high. He's doing what he can to make a big difference in reducing it. Now, if there's any money allocated to any program that's actually benefiting our city, or in his case, the president's case, our country, you would keep it. The problem is when we get in certain positions, whether it's city, local, government, whichever one, we get relaxed and no longer have that sense of urgency or that business sense of, am I benefiting the county? You may think, why do I have to? I show up every day, but that's not how it works. When you go to work, wherever it is, show that you're worthy of that position. I have received 17 emails in reference to going to county offices or city offices and people having an attitude. Are people not interested in directing them somewhere? You are there for 8 hours a day, and those 8 hours is supposed to be committed to serving that job you have, that position, and the people who come in there. Now, we're all upset and everybody's mad with our president because of the jobs he cut. Some of them, I'm sure, shouldn't have been cut. But let's be honest, how do you make change? There's no way you can change something if you do nothing. Even in our local elections, you don't come out and vote. And then when they make a change, let's use Jackson County as an example, about our property taxes, you're upset. Well, all those people that are upset, I would love to look at the percentage that turned out when the position was voted on, Jackson County Executive, and the number of people upset over these property taxes. If it does not equal up, then that's on you because you chose to stay at home and not vote. It's the same way the health department continues, and I do mean continues, to slide in fees for small businesses and for property owners and for landlords. But when it came time for people to show up at that council meeting about the landlord issue where they wanted to start charging landlords $20 a year just because they had a property in case, and this is the health department, in case a tenant complained. The room wasn't packed. There was plenty of seats. And what people don't realize, it hit the ballot. And again, a low turnout when it came to voting. But you know what people didn't realize? That amount at $20, a large percentage of the landlords already said on the way out the door that if they do it, we'll just push it right over to the tenants. So again, you need to vote. If your place was really that bad, you should have handled that on your own anyway. Now, back to Jackson County. We have apparently gotten away with years of not having the property taxes assessed properly. Just like with our president, when do you fix it and make a change? Our president is trying to make a change. Our county executive tried to make a change. We're going to be upset. And some people, it was really messed up. Yeah, by 40%, that's crazy. But the same thing I feel about our president. Some of that stuff, you let go people who were doing a great job. You cleared out a lot of people who were needed because our community or the people, when they need to call, need to be able to reach people. But I got to say, even for myself, the changes that affected me, I know change has to come and everybody's not going to be satisfied with it. But until we get the deficit down, until we get things handled in Jackson County and the city of Kansas City, which means finding out where your money's going and why it's going there, change won't happen unless someone is willing, like Jackson County executive, like our president, to say, these people are going to hate me, but I got to do this. I don't like a lot of the changes, especially from the presidential side. But I didn't see anybody else changing anything. All I ever heard was how the deficit was just growing, 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 growing. And the deficit means what we owe. I wish that a Democrat would have came up with this idea. Then they probably would have laid the plan out a little bit better. But you didn't. You didn't come up with the idea. You did nothing all those years. Again, that's on the people. I listen to people say they vote a particular party because they've always done that. Don't care if things are not getting better, but that's what I do. Even in local elections, I had a person tell me that. And I said, so is your community getting better? This was a local election. And she said, heck no. And I said, so you're going to continue to do the same thing, even though and you know what she said? I never thought about it like that. Well, that's the same thing with the Democrats and the Republicans when it comes to running this country. When was the Democrats going to do something? Going to tell the people, hey, we have a serious deficit. Hey, we can't continue to fund a lot of these programs if it's not benefiting us. I get the social aspect of things, but I also get the same as with a person's household. when things have gotten a little out of hand financially, it's time to make a change. So again, we've got our county executive where we're mad because he made a change, and our president where we're mad because he made a change. But why didn't the people before them do something? If the people before them had shared with the American people in your city or your county, hey, we have a problem here. We're going to start working on it. Shoot emails with suggestions, but we've got to collect more money on these properties. Or let people say, well, why do you have to do that? Can't you do this? But to do nothing, so it's hard for me to be upset over two people who chose to do something. This is Michelle's City Talk. Hope you'll join me again later, but I'm going to always do my best to keep it real. It may not be what you want to hear or what you even like hearing, but I will do my best because I need you to open your mind. People keep getting personal about this Jackson County thing, but it makes me wonder, did I see you vote? Did I see you getting other people to vote? What did you do? Take responsibility, accept change has to happen, and do what we can do. Let's make our city great. Again, Michelle's City Talk.